Hello and welcome again. You're watching Express News on DD India, where we bring you a quick wrap-up of all that's making headlines around the world. I'm Samriddhi Goel. Let's get started. The nation is celebrating the Constitution Day today to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution of India by the Constituent Assembly in 1949. President Ramnath Kovind led the nation in reading the preamble to the Constitution of India. Speaking at the celebration of the Constitution Day in the Central Hall of the Parliament, President Kovind said, "Constitution connects all Indians." He said 72 years ago in this Central Hall, the framers of the Constitution had adopted this document for a bright future of independent India. The President said the development journey of India has been progressing on the strength of the Constitution. The President released digital versions of the Constituent Assembly debates and a calligraphed copy of the Indian Constitution with amendments made today. Speaking at the celebration of the Constitution Day in the Central Hall of the Parliament, Vice President said the preamble summarizes the philosophy of the Constitution, in which people preferred India to be a democratic republic. He said it has been our firm belief that people have been at the center of our development. During his address at the Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Constitution Day is the day to salute this House, where many of India's leaders brainstormed to give us the Constitution of India. He added that we should pay tribute to all of those who fought during India's independence struggle. Taking a dig at dynasty parties, the Prime Minister said if a party is run by one family for many generations, then it is not good for a healthy democracy. Prime Minister Modi said that if the Constitution had to be prepared in the present circumstances, it would have been a difficult task because for most of the political parties in the country, national interest is not supreme. Prime Minister later participated in the Constitution Day celebrations held at Vigyan Bhavan organized by the Supreme Court. Addressing the ceremony, the Prime Minister said working for downtrodden is the real service to the Constitution. BJP President JB Nadda today participated in an event marking the Constitution Day in Manipur's Imphal. Addressing during the event, Nadda said that the governments may come and go, but democracy must always flourish. Earlier tributes were paid to eminent parliamentarians and former Lok Sabha Speaker Rupee Ray on his birth anniversary today. In a special program organized in the Parliament, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh, including several MPs and officials, paid floral tributes to Rupee Ray. Today also marks 13 years since the deadly 26/11 terror attacks in Mumbai. On the evening of November 26, 2008, a group of 10 Pakistan-trained terrorists landed near a colony of fisherfolk at Cuff Parade on Mumbai's southern coast. In his virtual keynote address at the Platinum Jubilee Global Conclave at SCB Medical College, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister PM Mishra spoke about substantive transformation during the last 5 years in medical education. He also spoke about an increase in medical infrastructure and the growth of the Indian pharma industry. Principal Secretary to PM also stressed that when the COVID-19 crisis hit the country, the Indian pharma industry sprung into action and developed and manufactured vaccines. Now, to boost the pharma sector, the government has undertaken various initiatives. The overall air quality index, or AQI, in the national capital on Friday morning slipped to 368 in the very poor category, according to the System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research, or SAFAR. The Prime Minister was the PM was recorded at 376 in the very poor category, and PM 2.5 was recorded at 224 in the very poor category at 7:50 a.m. In view of declining COVID cases in the state of Haryana, all government and private schools will reopen with full capacity from the 1st of December. All private and government schools in Gurgaon reopened today after being shut down earlier this month over rising levels of air pollution in the national capital region. The 19th Maritime Search and Rescue Board meeting was held in Delhi on Thursday, in which guidelines were formulated under the National Search and Rescue Plan. Search and Rescue Awards for the year 2019-20 and 2020-21 were conferred to winners under different categories. Now, today is also the National Milk Day, the birth centenary of Dr. Varghese Kurian, better known as the Milkman of India. The Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying celebrated the occasion at an event at Anand, along with National Dairy Development Board and other institutions created by Dr. Kurian. There was mayhem on Dalal Street as the 30-share Sensex on Friday fell by 1,687.94 points to end at 57,107.15 owing to the concerns of a new variant of COVID-19. The 50 share Nifty also sank 509.80 points on Friday to end at 17,026.45. Asian stocks also suffered their sharpest drop in 3 months, and European stocks sank more than 3% on Friday as reports of a newly identified and possibly vaccine-resistant coronavirus variant drove investors out of riskier assets. The prices of gold rose by 682 rupees at the MCX to end at 48,103 rupees per 10 gram. Prices of silver were also trading high on Friday. Silver prices rose by 153 rupees at the MCX to end at 63,303 rupees per kilogram. The Indian rupee also plunged 37 paise to close at 74.89 against the US dollar. Crude oil too was trading 5.57% or 325 rupees lower on Friday to end at 5,512 rupees per barrel. Petrol and diesel prices remained unchanged for the 22nd consecutive day on November 26th after the central government cut the excise duty on the two fuels to bring down retail rates. Now, petrol is selling at 103.97 rupees a litre in Delhi, while diesel is being sold at 86.67 rupees per litre in the national capital. The Reserve Bank of India has accepted 21 out of 33 recommendations of the internal working group that was set up to review extant ownership guidelines and corporate structure for Indian private sector banks. Rating agency Moody's has projected that the economic growth in India will rebound strongly. In its latest report, Moody's Investors Service pegged the country's GDP growth at 9.3% in 2022 financial year and 7.9% in 2023. Moody's said consumer demand, spending and manufacturing activity are recovering following the easing of the pandemic restrictions, and it also said improved vaccination coverage has led to stabilization in consumer confidence. Now, with the administration of 83,88,824 vaccine doses in the last 24 hours, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded 120.27 crores as per provisional reports this morning. More than 133 crore vaccine doses have now been provided to states and union territories so far. More than 22.70 crore balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. India's recovery rate currently stands at 98.33%, which is highest since March 2020. A total of 9,868 recoveries were reported in the last 24 hours, which has increased the total recoveries to 3,39,77,830. A total of 10,549 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload stands at 1,10,133 currently. Active cases account for less than 1% of total cases. Currently at 0.32%, it is the lowest since March 2020. Daily positivity rate at 0.89% is less than 2% for last 53 days. Weekly positivity rate at 0.89% is less than 1% for the last 12 days. India has also ramped up its testing capacity. A total of 63.71 crore total tests have been conducted so far. The world continues to battle COVID-19. So far, over 26 crore 4,10,000 cases have been reported worldwide, while recoveries stand above 23 crore 53 lakh and 66,000 globally. The deadly virus has so far claimed over 52 lakh lives globally. The United States remains to be the worst affected nation by the pandemic. So far, over 4 crore 89 lakh and 99,000 cases have been reported in the country. The death toll across the US is nearing the 8 lakh mark. The UK has decided to temporarily suspend flights from 6 South African countries after South Africa detected a new COVID-19 variant with a large number of mutations. Now, these countries include South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Lesotho and Eswatini. UK's Health Secretary Sajid Javid said that the new variant, which South Africa attributed to a surge in cases and had also been detected in travellers from the country in Botswana and Hong Kong, had not been found so far in Britain. The European Commission has proposed to mandate booster jabs of COVID-19 vaccine for the European Union residents if they want to travel to another country in the bloc. The EU's drug regulator has approved the use of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine in children in the age group of 5 to 11 years. Now, the decision has paved way for providing first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to the children of this age group. Czech President Miloš Zeman was taken back to hospital after he tested positive for coronavirus. The president's office informed about his health just hours after his release, following more than 6 weeks of treatment for an unrelated condition. The Czech government has ordered clubs to close at 10 p.m. and banned Christmas markets for 30 days in an attempt to curb the spiraling up of COVID-19 cases. Germany's death toll from COVID-19 has hit a grim milestone of 1 lakh. Now, Germany's outgoing Chancellor Angela Merkel informed that the hospitals in eastern and southern parts of the country have been overwhelmed by COVID-19 patients. A gas leak in a Siberian coal mine killed at least 52 people on Thursday, including 6 rescuers who were sent down to try to bring out dozens of men. Now, this incident is termed as one of Russia's worst mining disasters since the Soviet times. Australia deploys over 100 police and military personnel to aid the Solomon Islands authorities in guarding critical infrastructure as protesters in the Pacific Island nation defied a curfew to protest for a third consecutive day. Violent protests continued in the Solomon Islands for the third day, the capital, Honiara, despite a 36-hour lockdown being imposed. Buildings destroyed and smoldering in Solomon Islands after protesting turned violent. Burkina Faso President Roch Kabore has promised to end dysfunction within the military in as the nation braced for more protests against worsening insecurity. France pledged to step up surveillance of its northern shores, but migrants huddling in makeshift camps said neither that nor a tragic drowning the day before would stop them from trying to cross the channel to Britain. Britain Prime Minister Boris Johnson said France was at fault and French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin accused Britain of bad immigration management. A new flight from Minsk airport took away hundreds of migrants who recently were attempting to cross into the European Union from the Belarus-Poland border, Belarus has reported on Thursday. Russia and India will be holding a 2+2 dialogue, and the Russian Foreign Minister and Defense Minister will be visiting India on the 5th of December for a dialogue. Bilateral talks to be held between India and Russia. US President Joe Biden on Thursday marked Thanksgiving by meeting US Coast Guard personnel in Massachusetts. Hundreds of women in Mexico City demanded a stop to gender-based violence, with the protest marred by clashes with police officers on Thursday. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen reaffirmed the importance of the Asia-Europe partnership and cooperation in addressing regional and global issues of common concerns. ASEM 13 has set its objectives based on the principles of shared growth, sustainable development and rules-based multilateralism. The main goals of the ASEM summit range from deepening inter-regional connectivity for sustainable and shared growth, harnessing innovation, digital connectivity and the industrial revolution in addressing issues such as climate change, poverty and women empowerment. As part of his official visit to Japan, Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh met with 2 former Prime Ministers of Japan, Abe Shinzo and Suga Yoshihide. According to the United Nations, 9 out of 10 women in Afghanistan have experienced at least one form of violence from a loved one in their lifetime. Spectators lined the streets of Manhattan on Thursday for the 95th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The giant helium balloons are typically the main attraction. In all, there were 15 balloons guided by marchers holding teters, the longest of which measured 22 meters. Canadian author Margaret Atwood was honoured for her literary canon with a postage stamp bearing her image. Canada Post launched the commemorative stamp at an event in Toronto on Thursday. The stamp features a black and white photograph of the Handmaid's Tale author with her hand on her face and her eyes closed. Now, the white background features a line from her poem, Spelling, which is repeated in every sentence. A restored road connecting 2 ancient Egyptian temple complexes in Karnak and Lakshya was unveiled on Thursday in a lavish ceremony aimed at raising the profile of one of Egypt's top tourist spots. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi marched along the road at the start of the ceremony. Pharaonic chariots and more than 400 young performers dressed in pharaonic costumes paraded along the venue. The 3,400-year-old road linking the ancient centers of Karnak and Luxor, also known as the Road of the Rams or the Avenue of the Sphinxes, is lined with hundreds of ram and human-headed sphinxes, though over the years many have been eroded and destroyed. A gingerbread Berlin Wall and Central Park Cafe from the hit television series Friends are on show at an annual Christmas baking competition in Stockholm, which this year has the theme Together. The theme was illustrated in many ways, from animals on Noah's Ark, people gathering at the fall of the Berlin Wall, friends meeting in Central Park in New York City, to people baking together. The winners in the 5 categories, architects, designers, bakers, up to 12, and all others who bake, will be announced on December 19, and the Tasty exhibition runs until the 9th of January. Hundreds of women marched in the streets of Bogota calling for stronger action to stem femicides and gender-based crimes in Cambodia. In Madrid, a crowd of mostly women advanced up one of the capital's main avenues to the rhythm of a squadron of samba drummers. This year's slogan was enough, as 1,200 people marched through central Madrid with some banners calling to put an end to gender-based violence. In Israel, a public education campaign is uses artificial intelligence technology to bring 5 murdered women back to life on screen, to warn others how to protect themselves from abusive relationships. The clips are made from photographs of the women before they died, using technology to animate them into videos of them speaking, dubbed by actresses. New Zealand finished day 2 at 129 for 0, with both openers Will Young and Tom Latham registering half-centuries. India were bowled out for 345 runs in their first innings of the first Test match at the Green Park Stadium in Kanpur. Pat Cummins has been confirmed as Australia's new men's Test captain, replacing Tim Paine after his resignation last week. The International Cricket Council revealed that the India vs Pakistan T20 World Cup Super 12 match in Dubai set a new record for the most views, with 15.9 billion minutes in India alone. Reigning world champion and third-seeded PV Sindhu has entered the semi-final stage of the ongoing Indonesia Open badminton tournament. Vice-captain Sanjay scored the second consecutive hat-trick, while Arijit Singh handled 2 found the net tries as defending champions India bounced back strongly to demolish Canada 13-1 in their second Pool B match of the FIH Men's Junior Hockey World Cup in Bhubaneswar. Bayern Munich's turnover for the fiscal year 2020-21 was just over 640 million euros, a sharp decrease from the pre-COVID-19 levels of more than 750 million euros. Argentino's Juniors opens a sanctuary to commemorate Maradona 1 year after his death anniversary. Naples unveiled a statue of Diego Maradona in front of the stadium named after him. According to media reports, Ralph Rangnick has agreed terms with Manchester United to become their interim manager. Katrina Kaif, Siddhant Chaturvedi and Ishan Khattar starrer Phone Booth has got a release date. The movie will now release on July 15 next year. Actor Kartik Aaryan, who is currently basking in the praises of his recently released film Dhamaka, has commenced shooting for his upcoming film Shehzada in Old Delhi. Actor Deepika Padukone has started dubbing for Shakun Batra's film. The film also stars Ananya Pandey and Siddhant Chaturvedi. Actor Samantha Prabhu has been roped in to play the lead role in Arrangements of Love. Marking his return to Australian TV series, actor Sam Neill of Jurassic Park fame would head the cast of crime drama series The 12. Playwright Dominique Orlando died at the age of 57 due to complications from cancer. Canadian rock star Bryan Adams has tested positive for COVID-19 for the second time in a month. Walt Disney Animation's musical adventure Encanto kicked off the extended Thanksgiving box office parade with a first-day gross of $7.5 million. Makers of the critically acclaimed drama series This Is Us have dropped the much-awaited trailer of the final season 6 of the show. And the makers of the upcoming Korean thriller The Silent Sea have dropped its suspenseful poster as well as a teaser. And that's all we have for you in today's edition of Express News. News continues on DD India. Do stay tuned in. Thanks for watching.